Don't blink if you adore the Old West. Some of the endings will hurt your heart as we pay tribute to well-known Western TV giants who have passed away but will always be remembered. Keep watching until the very end because I'll provide a quick tribute that you can perform at home to truly honor their memory. If any of these stars have impacted your life, please leave a like and let me know in the comments which one you still watch on peaceful evenings. Stay tuned. To give you an idea of what to expect, here is our lineup. Amanda Blake, the Long Branch's steadfast heart. Ken Curtis, the devoted companion with a mule and a smile. When the guns stopped firing, Milburn Stone, the physician, kept Dodge City together. Dennis Weaver, the devoted right hand who made generosity seem courageous. The young fireman who entered as a blacksmith and left as a star was Burt Reynolds. And the tallest police officer on TV, James Arness, who wore the badge for 20 years. We'll spend time with each one, discuss openly about how they left us, and share what made them unique. Just respect, good memories, and unambiguous stories. No noise. Let's begin with Miss Kitty Russell's powerful soul, Amanda Blake. She didn't need a gun, and she didn't carry one. The Long Branch became the heart of Dodge City every time she went behind that bar. 2 minutes later, she could use the same face to hoist a guy up after cutting him down with a single glance. There was no need for a kiss between her and Matt Dillon since their relationship was built on time, trust, and a silent concern that was more powerful than words. Amanda has the same unwavering affection for animals off the stage. When few people were discussing it, she advocated for improved care and breeding programs and assisted with the care of large cats. She passed away from AIDS-related complications in 1989 at the age of 60, saying it still hurts. Every time the saloon door opens on a repeat, the loving, astute, and courageous manner she lived still lights up the room, even though the way she left us was not what anyone had anticipated. Festus Hagen was introduced to us by Ken Curtis, and you could sense his loyalty through the TV. Festus was all heart, half humor, and half grit. He was an eccentric when he first arrived and became family. The play was held together by the mule named Ruth, the local proverbs, and his support of Matt throughout difficult times. From his time with the Sons of the Pioneers, Ken had music in his bones. You could hear the beat in the way he delivered a phrase or hurled a joke and let it rest just long enough. His portrayal of Festus and a relative in a single episode was one of his best performances. You could quickly sense his versatility, the same face, different souls. In 1991, at the age of 74, he passed away after a heart attack. Festus simply galloped out with the wind rather than receiving a lavish farewell. However, both you and I are aware that he is still out there, monitoring the trail. Doc Adams, played by Milburn Stone, was the backbone of Dodge City. Doc stayed when the smoke passed. Because that's what a real doctor does. He treated both the good and the terrible. Behind all of this, there was a soft center that never wavered when it came to what was right. He snarled, argued, and stood his ground. Stone used simple truth and old family tales to build document. You can sense it at moments when his morals are put to the test and he refuses to budge, no matter how much it costs him. It made fitting that he received an Emmy for the part. When he passed away in 1980 at the age of 75, it seemed as though the clinic door had finally closed for forever. He remained with the show nearly until the very end. However, you can hear Matt's harsh voice, the one that always seemed like a warning and an embrace at the same time, in your mind whenever he gets hit and someone says, "Get him to document." Chester Good was given to us by Dennis Weaver, and Chester gave us heart. He had that kind voice, that limp, and the kind of bravery that doesn't require a drum. The friend who intervened before you had to ask was Chester. He receives a thrashing that no one should have to endure in the episode Never Pester Chester, but he recovers with a quiet pride that makes the audience sit up straight on the couch. In order to avoid becoming locked in one lane, Weaver left after 9 seasons and produced much more excellent work. However, because Chester seemed like home, individuals continued to return. Dennis Weaver passed away in 2006 at the age of 81. For many of us, he will always be remembered as the man who would sprint on a damaged leg if a buddy needed assistance, even if he left behind a long history of positive roles and causes. You could immediately see that Burt Reynolds was halfway to the movies when he arrived as Quint Asper. Quint was a blacksmith with an unwavering pride and a past that would not go away. He was half native, half outsider, and when the town turned away, he stared you in the eye. Burt had a lot of nerve for that. At a moment when the show required a fresh spark, he generously contributed heat and youth. Before leaving to pursue big-screen goals, he only completed a few seasons, and we are all aware of the outcome. However, many fans revisited those early episodes after learning in 2018 that Burt Reynolds had passed away at the age of 82 following a heart attack. There he is, a young man with a hammer in his hand and fire in his step, not yet the legend. James Arness, Marshal Matt Dillon, who has been the first and last word in Dodge City for 20 seasons, comes next. He didn't have anything to say. He took action when it mattered, listened first, and stood tall. Arness gave the screen a serene weight. You immediately trusted him. He was never cruel, but he could be harsh. He was never weak, yet he could be quiet. He carried the badge even when it became heavy. Even when it wasn't, he gave the West a sense of fairness. He demonstrated that he could play many characters after Gunsmoke, but the badge remained his. When he passed away in 2011 at the age of 88, Dodge felt as though the sun had set once more. However, the peculiar thing about a long-running program is that each time the theme music starts, the sun rises once more. You may be thinking, tragically, but not all of these were dramatic outcomes. You're correct, and we ought to be truthful about it. Some of these lives ended quietly due to natural causes, a terminal illness, or a heart that simply became weary. However, tragic refers to more than just how someone departs from us. It also has to do with the void they leave. Without Miss Kitty, the Long Branch is a sorrowful place. It is awful to have a town without Doc to put it back together. It is sad to leave a trail unguarded by Chester. It is dreadful to live in a world without Quint to stand up or Festus to smile. It is awful to have a badge without Matt to wear it. The loss is painful because their work endures, which is precisely why we pay tribute to them. To ensure they don't get misplaced, let's group their names and gifts together. Amanda Blake, who demonstrated that a woman in the West could hold a room without raising her voice and who died at age 60 from complications connected to AIDS, is still teaching us to care. If you can still hear Festus say Matthew in that sincere manner, Ken Curtis, who transformed a sidekick into a brother and a joke into a lesson, was never truly gone. He passed away at the age of 74 after a heart attack. Milburn Stone, who gave us a physician who treated pride and wounds in the same room, passed away at the age of 75, leaving behind a model of responsibility under duress. Even though Dennis Weaver passed away at the age of 81, fans everywhere still remember him as the man who made loyalty feel both compassionate and noble. Even though he passed away at the age of 82, Burt Reynolds, a youthful blacksmith with a powerful jaw and a chip on his shoulder, continues to make people grin. Reynolds brought fire to the forge and never forgot where he started. Even at the age of 88, James Arness was still the tallest man in the room when the first notes were played. He carried the West on his shoulders and never complained. Why are these tales relevant today? Because gunfights were never the only aspect of Westerns. They were about a code: act morally, settle your bills, assist the underprivileged, confront bullies, and return home exhausted but truthful. Parts of that code rubbed off on us because these performers lived it so brilliantly on screen. Perhaps that's why people continue to watch. Perhaps that's why, on an ordinary night, a straightforward scene like Doc tending to a wound or Chester getting assistance might make you cry. These programs taught us that compassion is a form of strength and that steadiness is bravery. It's acceptable if any of these names seem unfamiliar to you. As if they had just ridden into town today, you can now meet them. Start with a few episodes and observe how the relationship develops. Miss Kitty keeping a room together while the men quarrel, Festus turning a rough day into a tale worth sharing, Doc remaining steadfast when fear tells him to flee, Chester taking one more step for a friend, Quint confronting a cruel remark with a level gaze, and Matt Dillon choosing the difficult right over the simple wrong. You'll understand why these faces were in living rooms for so long. You'll understand why it is still said that the presence of these people made the West feel safer. This is the tribute I promised, so stay with me to the very end. Choose one person from this list for tonight. Only one. Recite their name aloud. Next, locate a clip, any clip, and play it while putting your phone aside and turning up the sound. When it's finished, share it with a little message that reads, "This still holds up," and think of one person in your life who would enjoy it. That's all. Easy. Not a long speech. No fancy editing. You'll have accomplished something genuine. For someone who offered you a little courage, a little solace, or a little joy, you will have kept a light on. Tell me in the comments which celebrity most resonated with you and which episode you want to watch again tonight if this video reminded you of anything. To ensure that you don't miss our next look at the legends who built TV with grit and heart, please subscribe, watch to the very end, and hit like to help additional fans find this homage. The voyage continues for as long as we can remember, but the boots are silent and the hats are on the hook.